Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another LEGO build. Now, a couple videos ago we started the skeleton slash underworld display and it didn't go perfectly. It was the Skull Sorcerer's dungeon or Mountain Fortress, whatever it's called. And essentially I didn't have a lot of the pieces, and I said that in the bag was one of my favorite LEGO sets ever. It is the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, and I'm sincerely hoping I have all the pieces for this. I believe I do, and I've been teasing for a while that there are stories and stuff coming soon to the LEGO room, and the skeletons are going to play a very big part in it. I always wanted the skeletons to kind of be like the first villain for the storytelling, and I need the dragon to do that. And thankfully, skeletons aren't very expensive. Now, I don't have the minifigures for this set available to me. They're in a bag, God knows, somewhere among the other 500 LEGO sets, somewhere in this room. Now, this right here is easily not just one of my favorite LEGO dragons, one of my favorite LEGO sets of all time. It is the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. Now, this is part of Ninjago. It is set number 71721. And it came out in 2020 as part of the Masters of the Mountain lineup from Ninjago. It contains 1,016 pieces. It technically had 7 minifigures with it. Again, they're somewhere in this room. I've really got to find them. And it retailed for $80. To purchase it today, you're looking around $100 to $120. Depending on said minifigures, the box, all of those good things. But this is easily one of my favorite sets that has ever been made. It is also one of the biggest dragons that LEGO has ever made. And if you are kind of following along on a lot of the lore and stuff that I'm building in this LEGO room, dragons are extremely important to all the realms. Like in the background here, we have the massive Lion Knight's fortress, their army, greetings from the Vikings. All of this is going to be very important in storytelling. So the Skeleton Empire, Underworld, whatever you want to call them, is going to be very, very important to the LEGO storytelling that I'm about to get into. And I'm really excited for it. And obviously, there's one good thing. If you're going to lose minifigures, skeletons are kind of the best ones to lose because they are not expensive. Not in the grand scheme of things anyways. And I'm amassing some skeletons that are just kind of like, you know, in dungeons, and I had one that was in the vampire castle from Monster Fighters and stuff like that. So the Skeleton Empire is going to be growing, and this right here is important to do battle one day with the Source Dragon, which is obviously a monster, but I'm really excited for this, and I'm hoping I have at least most of the important pieces. It looks like it's pretty much still intact, except for probably a couple claws, which, you know what, I can deal with that. So I'll get this put together, show it off a little bit, and then we'll take a look at what it's going to look like with the Skeleton Empire with their dragon. So I am very excited for this. I love it. When I built this was meant to be the first ever LEGO set on this channel. I recorded a video, and it was just terribly shot and terribly done about 4 years ago when I was trying to get into YouTube for the first time, and I realized I don't have the time, the technology, or the money to do so. Now we have those things for the most part, so obviously we're building like crazy in this room, and I'm really excited for the LEGO room to just keep growing and keep growing. So this is going to be part of, you know, the Halloween wave of things, and I'm really excited to just put this back together and get the skeleton storytelling told. So I'm very, very excited for this. This is one of my favorite sets of all time. Definitely check it out if you're interested. This is one of my 2 favorite dragons ever made. The other one is the Morrow Dragon from the Ghost lineup for Ninjago. I love the Source Dragon, don't get me wrong, it's probably 3rd. Just these 2 are my favorite, and you know, the cloth wings are always something that I love more than the plastic pieces that are used on like the Source Dragon. I just think these look awesome, and this is such a unique and beautiful LEGO set. It definitely easily is in my top probably 20 ever. So I love this thing. It is awesome. It is a wicked set, and I really wish that more unique dragons like this would come off more often. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another LEGO build and one of my absolute favorites. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. It helps the channel out a lot, and definitely let me know either on Instagram or here, of like skeleton pieces and sets and stuff like that. Once we especially start storytelling, it's going to be important that I have a lot of like characters and stuff like that ready to go. But I am very excited to do so, and I'll see you at the end of the build, folks. Alright, everybody, so here's the final build. It's just as cool as I remember. I love this set. Between the awesome face, the coolest wings, in my opinion, that have ever been on any Lego set, dragon, anything. These wings right here, this cloth skeleton pattern, it's awesome. I love how it looks decayed and torn. You have the huge claws on the tip of the wing here. It just looks amazing. This dragon is so cool. In terms of size, I mean, it is pretty large. In terms of my hand, which not the biggest hands in the world, but aren't the smallest hands in the world either, it is pretty sizable. In terms of minifigure scale, I mean, smaller than one of the feet, so definitely a pretty big boy. Like I said, it's not the rarest set in the world either, so definitely one that's kind of been forgotten, in my opinion, with Lego, but I think it's fantastic. The tail has some pretty cool whip features for it, and it just connects at the base here. If you want to display it without the tail, pretty simple. You just pop it right out of that little slot there, and then you're good to go. Obviously, for me, I sometimes display them without the tail, just because they sit really far in on some of my displays, and I don't want the tail essentially like smashed up against the back, because I don't want it to break. And then on the back is a large sword piece for the actual end of it. This guy's probably missing a couple pieces here and there, but overall he is in pretty good shape except for his missing rider. Now this one does have a play feature. This piece right here, the rib cage, actually opens up and it's supposed to drop stuff out of it. I don't need that for my story or the build, so we just had the dragon without. But very, very cool nonetheless. That is using these two pieces right here, and you essentially can hit them. That's pretty much it for that. On the back, we have a couple of flags for his signet rider here, and then right in here, we have a couple little flick fires. Again, I don't keep any flick fires or anything like that in my display just because of the cat walking around. I don't need her either getting blasted by one of them or trying to eat anything that flies out of them. So the paws and claws are very cool. It actually uses a white droid body for the front detail, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this thing is wicked, and obviously you have a little spot for the rider here. I love it. I love that we're doing a lot more stuff with dragons on the channel. While this won't be part of the actual dragon display, I'll probably still include it in the playlists for like creating a custom dragon display. I'll probably still put him in that little faction just because it does really make sense. Obviously he's going to go in the skeleton world. Now let's take a look at what he's going to look like in the actual display. Alright, so obviously it is very much still a work in progress. I have that dark gray base plate aside the lava just as kind of like a spot for the troops to stand. Obviously this is going to get very detailed as we go, but we are essentially just doing part 1, part 2. We're trying to get everything together for, I don't know, like the storytelling sake, getting characters in line, getting stories in line, getting set pieces established. Dragons are obviously going to play a big part. Not just like season 1 of my storytelling, but beyond as well. So he does kind of fit in there pretty well, actually. From my perspective, he blocks a bit of the structure. However, from down here, essentially this is ground level. This is the bottom row of my area. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor trying to record this, holding my ring light because I'm too lazy to get the short one that actually I bought for this reason, because God forbid I do that. So I think it's pretty cool. The dragon definitely looks wicked, and you can see the Jaws display is actually sitting in front of it. So I just had to level out the orca a little bit because her wings were kind of eating it up. I'm going to try and level out the wings a little bit, try and pinch them both underneath, but it just wasn't cooperating, so I'll do that off camera, and before I break something, I figured I would do the outro. But I'm excited. The skeleton realm is definitely coming along. Now next time, very exciting, we're going to be doing some work with the Vikings, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited for that one, and we got a lot of stuff coming up. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. I haven't built in like a week or two, so got to get back into the groove. of some of my scheduling and some of my ideas and stuff like that. It's just been beautiful weather, so I'm trying to do as much fishing as I can and trying to edit and all that good stuff. It's busy. We are growing as a community really fast, and it's pretty cool. It's also nerve-wracking sometimes, so I'm very, very excited. I think just in the couple days since I built this dragon, didn't have time to do the outro. I was just doing a lot of fishing, and you know, the 4 hours of sleep I get alone while doing all this. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing an outro, and since I'm so far ahead, that is a benefit of it. I essentially gained across the board another like 300 plus followers between both Instagrams, Fishbrain, YouTube, all that good stuff. So we're in a really, really good spot right now. Our following combined right now is about 5,000, so it's pretty cool. We're putting together a full community here. It's definitely not stressful or tiring at all, but I absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to starting to share these stories and the lore and stuff with my room with you guys. So thank you all so much as always for all your support. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Helps the channel out a lot, and I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody.